Welcome to a special bonus review episode of Just One More Fix. This is James. With me in this episode is Kurt and Lacey.
Hey.
You can find us online at justonemorefix.com or on Twitter at JustOneMoreFix. If you like us, head over to iTunes or to Google Play and give us a rating and a comment. In this bonus review episode, we're going to review the board game Black Orchestra. And now, it's time to get our review fix. Okay, so welcome to Just More Fix. We got a bonus review for you guys. So usually we review RPGs and that kind of stuff, but we have been playing Black Orchestra here lately and have been incredibly frustrated and motivated.
Delightfully frustrated,
Yeah.
I would say.
It's a history-based board game.
So just so you guys know, Black Orchestra, or for those of you that don't know, Black Orchestra is a board game made by Game Salute. They also make
Goblins, Drool, and Fairies Rule, as well as a variety of games themed around The Princess Bride. Those are the ones that come to my mind right off. They've got like 5 or 6 Princess Bride games, each one based around a different main character in the movie.
They're a pretty popular board game company, but we, as you may have already heard in a couple episodes ago, as we talked about going to Gen Con, heard about this board game. We're really excited about it and got to look at it. Well, we got it this year. And I would say that we have played it probably 15 times.
Oh, gosh.
I haven't played it that many times. I would say you playing it with our son and me and everybody else combined is probably 15 times for you total.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what we're doing wrong, but we have yet to beat it. But so Black Orchestra is a game, if you've seen the movie Project Valkyrie with Tom Cruise in it, where they are conspirators that exist inside the World War II German military intelligence community, and within the German military, and also on the civilian side of it.
Yeah.
There are several conspirators that are all trying to assassinate Hitler to bring an end to the war and to the atrocities that were happening in Germany at the time. So you play all those conspirators and they're actually the historical conspirators that existed. All the plots that happen that you try and enact against Hitler throughout the game are all historical plots.
And the event cards that happen are based on actual historical events,
yeah.
And they contain actual historical pictures on the cards.
Yeah, so it's very...
Yeah.
The artwork for it and I guess really the pictures and everything are very evocative to the time period. It's all very, very cool. The game production is very cool. I like it a lot.
This game was done by somebody who really loves history.
Yeah.
And they did an excellent job.
Well, and that's just it, too. It doesn't violate the spirit of historical. I mean, you can actually learn things by playing the game,
right.
And it doesn't suck, which is... Most learning games, well, to be perfectly honest, are suboptimal, if I can use that. This is fantastic.
Right. I like it a lot. My only criticism of it is I don't like the pawns. I think the pawns, they could have done something that was a little more thematic with it, but like
cheap plastic pawns
of all
compared
the
to the quality of
about.
everything else.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about production values, the game itself is a solid piece. I mean, the board doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart or anything. It's nothing spectacular in the sense of graphic design. It's almost kind of graphic novel-ish in the way it's put together, but... You know, it's not necessarily the graphics that sell this thing.
So the way you win is you assassinate Hitler. You successfully pull off one of the plots, and you assassinate Hitler. The way you lose is either everyone is arrested in the Gestapo prison at the same time, if you can't resolve an event card, or if you have the documents revealed event card come up it happens basically at the tail end of the game, and that's how you lose. And we have yet to defeat or to assassinate Hitler, but I say that, and I love this game because I like games that are hard and difficult to win at. But at this, the most intriguing thing about this game for us when we've played it, it seems like we're always on the edge of winning, and we're so close, and we just
it dangles the bait
seem to
right
pull it off.
there.
You know, so that's like when you play games like Arkham Horror, I feel like that game can just beat you down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's and that's where I think this game really excels. If you like really well designed games, this is it. I mean, the balance has it so that you are always a 1/10 of an inch from winning.
Right.
I mean, literally, it keeps you on your seat. It's not like Arkham Horror where you'd be like, all right, there's 17 portals. The gibbering madness is coming for us. It's over. Right up till the documents revealed card was drawn when we just played this last time, we were so close.
Yeah.
I had everything in place. Yep. We could have won.
I say too, like, this just gives me the utmost respect for the historical people at the time trying to assassinate Hitler. Like, I mean, it's such a good villain to pick for something like this, because we're all familiar with him. You know, he's such an epically terrible human being, and you know, it just gives you that even extra motivation to want to defeat him in this game, and just makes it that much more soul crushing when you cannot.
So the game itself is pretty straightforward. You spend time moving around a board that represents, you know, Germany and other parts of Europe that border Germany, conspiring and gaining resources, and Hitler's strength kind of goes up and down, waxes and wanes throughout
depending
the game.
Depending on, you know,
on the event cards.
What happens.
So every place you take a turn, you can move around, you can kind of gather resources, and at the end of everyone's turn, you turn over an event card, and those event cards sort of move Hitler's generals around and move him around, and there's, you know, it's very
trying to get
as an individual player. You have just two stats, so you have motivation and suspicion. So suspicion is what gets you arrested and makes your plots become revealed before they're carried out.
And the motivation is the individual character's commitment to carrying out the plot. And it goes from timid to zealous. And the more evil things you learn, the more committed the character gets.
There's some special abilities that you gain when you become more motivated. But as a general rule, you, as a character, have to get your motivation up and your suspicion down. And
Which is hard to do.
You have to obtain a plot card.
Right.
You have to obtain all the items to carry out that plot, and then the stars must align, and you roll dice to try and assassinate Hitler.
Probably the most important thing that we forgot to mention is that this is a cooperative board game.
Yeah.
So everybody's on the same team. Everything is played face up. You can trade cards. It's all very much so that you're working together, because it is hard. If you don't work together in this game, you're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
And it's a game for 1 to 5 people. So if you play it by yourself, you play 2 conspirators, and you can play with up to 5 people. So you'd have 5 conspirators at the table. And the rules don't really change too much from, you know, 1 to 2 players. You can have an extra item and some other stuff, but it's very, very simple. But
recommended age says 13 and up. If you have a very strategic person that's a little younger, I would say you could do it a little younger, but I wouldn't go a whole lot younger than that.
No, teenager definitely. Yeah.
And then it also says an hour to an hour and a half. Our games are running more an hour and a half to 2 hours. But it's not too far off.
We do a lot of strategizing and negotiating, trying to figure out what the best choices are.
Maybe a little tomfoolery.
Some of that is also on us. So
still, especially if you've got 5 people, expect 2 hours easy for this. Probably.
I think with 5 people, 2 hours probably pretty close. Although it depends if you're the kind of, when you sit down to play a game, if your board game group is very, you know, regimented and moving along, I think you probably could get it done in that time. But we are not. So
I don't think any of us have played this game solo.
No,
I
my
have.
first time through tonight.
Yeah, so I played it by myself, and you played 2 conspirators, and I still lost. but it was fun. I mean, I didn't, you know, I was trying to do it more to learn the mechanics to see how it worked. It was one of the first few times that I played it, and it played just fine.
I've played it with 2 and all the way up to 5, and it holds up and is a solid game, regardless of the amount of people, which is something. That is impressive.
Your strategies do change a little bit depending on how many people you have, because, like I said, if everybody's in jail at the same time, then you lose. So with 2 people, you really have to manage your suspicion well and kind of coordinate that. But knowing that, once you know that, it's not a big deal. So that's really the basis of the game, though. I mean, this is a game that I have played lots of cooperative games, but I've got to say, of the cooperative games that I've played, this is the one that I get the most amped up about excited, like, oh, we're gonna pull this off, or whatever, you know, like when we play Legendary or Arkham Horror or any of those games, I get excited and they're fun, but I don't feel the same sense of urgency.
Well, it balances, so your turn is relatively quick, and it gives everyone else at the table a reason to pay attention, because you're not playing in isolation. So even when it's not my turn, I'm very invested in what's going on the other side of the table.
Other generals and lieutenants are moving around the board, because if you start your turn with Goebbels or Bormann in your square, there are bad things happen to you. You know, you lose abilities, you lose cards or whatever. So you do kind of have to pay attention, and it's like you said, you're invested in the game even when it's not your turn to watch, because you know you're all working together as a team. So.
Yeah, and it does that very well.
Yeah, as a board game especially, it very uniquely builds and maintains tension.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that it's on a strict timeline, so you have 7 stages of events that you go through, and as the cards start to wind down and you're getting towards stage 5, stage 6, stage 7, you're just like, it's getting more desperate. We just need to try. You know, this may not be the best odds for us to try to enact this, but
we've got to
do something. You know, or we're just don't have a chance of winning at all. So. I don't know what else.
Yeah, no, like I said, the mounting tension. It flows quickly. So if you have those folks who are like on their phones during board games because their turn takes so long, they're not going to be. And if they are, then you need to kick them away from the table because they're obviously not on board.
We need their full support in this endeavor.
We need their full support. You've got to be paying attention. And I have to say, I have not had this much fun playing a board game in a while.
Really?
I tolerate most of them well. A few of them, like Mansions of Madness, I think are just fun based on the premise.
Right.
I like Arkham Horror, but I have to admit, sometimes I lose my concentration while it's going around and think.
Right.
This keeps even my. I have the attention span of a ferret, and it keeps my attention extraordinarily well.
I would say this is, I love a lot of board games, but this is the one I've been the most excited about recently. And I'm not a big history person either, but
I
know, right? I find this to be just like the perfect matchup of just a solidly good game, well put together, and it just does an excellent job.
Yeah, I love the game.
And you can learn something about history. How wonderful is that?
It's great. I love the premise of it and the themes of the game. Very big. I like the whole World War II kind of era of warfare and stuff. I think it's just an awesome time of history, and the game plays so well. Like like I said, I can't just say enough how frustrating and pumped up. And,
I know. It's just it keeps you on the edge of winning.
It's a roller coaster. It really is.
Well, you have a lot of board games where it's like they have a really excellent premise and the actual gameplay falls short, or they have an excellent game but maybe the theme is not all that interesting. And this game does both of those things very well.
Right on. Yeah, so we'll link it in the show notes. Black Orchestra. Anything else?
By Game Salute. No, go out and play
Worth
it. It's
every penny.
Yeah, yes. Easily. So check it out. And I think I saw on Board Game Geek that they have an expansion plan for it to come out 2017. So I'm not sure.
It needs to get more. It needs to get more frustrating.
So I don't know what they're going to add to it.
By the time the expansion comes out, maybe we will have managed to defeat Hitler at least once.
So also, what's something that I thought was really cool in the game itself. They sent a card with the game that says hashtag Black Orchestra, and you're supposed to take a picture and tag yourself on Twitter or on Facebook if you beat it with who you beat it with and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, we were so close.
So I'm looking forward to eventually doing that one day, but today was not that day. But eventually we will. So I thought that was a very cool thing to add in there, because I actually searched on Twitter hashtag Black Orchestra or whatever and looked, and there are some people that did beat it. It just wasn't me. But,
it just wasn't the day.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you people. So Black Orchestra, yeah, check it out. We like it a lot. It's a lot of fun, and it's great for something to have when you don't have everybody at your table that's supposed to be there for your game, for your regular RPG night or whatever. It's a great,
especially if maybe you're doing like a Dust Adventures campaign. This would be a good segue into that.
Well, that's the other thing. The setup took like 10 minutes. If you know how to play,
I guess that's something we didn't touch on. The amount of pieces are in it. There's a fair amount, but it's not. It's not a ton. I mean, the setup takes less than 5
Item
minutes.
Tokens,
probably.
event cards, regular deck of cards, and your Gestapo questioning cards, and then your pawns and your deputies, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it goes out pretty fast.
Some dice that are included, which you need. They're specialty dice, but yeah.
So that's one thing we should say is that some games like Arkham Horror take quite a while and effort to set up, and that can be
not Arkham Horror, Mansions of Madness.
That one and
Arkham Horror was just lay it out, and then you add the portals as you go. That's not almost
all the cards you got to lay out and everything else.
And
so
stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's cool,
but
whatever.
Not too bad.
Actually, they solved the
Descent, Mice and Mystics. Anything with large room tiles that you're setting up ahead of time is going to be more involved.
The setup is quick, and it's not a giant box, and so it's easy to. It's quick, easy, and efficient.
Right on. So, Black Orchestra, we like this game?
We do. Love it.
Right on. 2 thumbs up.
Cool. Check it out. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Just One More Fix. Music has been provided by Kevin MacLeod. You can find him at incompetech.com. You can find us at justonemorefix.com and follow us on Twitter at JustOneMoreFix.